If you want to start van life,
Don't be like us. These are the 10 mistakes that you shouldn't make as a new van lifer.
so stay tuned to the end of the video because you're going to learn a lot of our mistakes that we made.
After 2 years of building out this cargo van into a beautiful home on wheels, we're finally living full-time in our van. We've been living in here for 2 months now. After finishing the van build, we started going on a road trip in Europe. We went to Germany, Switzerland, Italy. During our road trip, there were a few things that we've learned on the way about our van, about living in the van, that we think we should have done differently. This brings us to the first mistake you should not make when you're starting out van life.
Keeping things unfinished. So basically, we've started with this van build, very ambitious, but we've learned a lot of things the past few weeks, months when we were traveling. And one big deal of it is finish the van as soon as possible and don't keep things unfinished like what we've done in our traveling. We basically had no drawers, but now that we've installed these slot drawers, we've got magnets on the side of our drawer. The reason that we bought magnets instead of other things that we could buy, and we've seen like other van builders had that, is because I'm much more comfortable with the magnets, that they're strong enough. You've probably seen also in our videos that our shower wasn't finished. Luckily, it's finished today. A mirror, we've got a composting nature toilet. We're very satisfied with it. The only thing that we've been noticing was the smell of our number one. And when I was installing this hose, I didn't cut it to the proper size. So the venting wasn't really that optimal. But that's now been fixed because the hose has been cut off to the right size. And now we don't have any problems or smells. This is something we have to deal with on a daily basis, of course, because we're noticing, even though we're very clean people, that we literally have to clean this van every day with more than we need to, because we've got sand on the floor, we've got Gizmo's freaking hair that's going everywhere, like everywhere, like even in the drawers, in the fridge. I mean, he's still a cute buddy, but it's a pain in the butt. But we'll take it and we'll accept it with it anyway. Hey buddy. Also, what do you think about the floor? Let us know in the comments. Let's talk about this fridge, because we've been very satisfied with this fridge. The only downside that we...
I'm gonna grape.
Okay, somebody's a bit hungry. Nevertheless, we're very satisfied with this fridge. Just keep in mind, if you're building a kitchen, to keep in mind that this is a massive fridge. And if you're building a kitchen, you want to at least know how deep this fridge is going to be and have a better feeling while you're building this kitchen. However, there are some small minor things that we've been occurring with our freezer.
We're realizing that although the freezing compartment is big and it does freeze our food, it's not freezing it up to the temperature that it needs to. Like, everything is frozen, but not as cold as we'd like. You can also not choose the temperature of the freezer, so we don't really have a good idea of how cold it actually is in there and how to regulate the temperatures.
It freezes to a certain degree, like 10 degrees, but to be safe in food category wise, it's recommended to be a little bit more higher. So we're actually not sure what's the main reason or the cause of that, because we're literally have it in front of the door, which is it's like venting much more better than in other areas in the van. We've noticed that while we were traveling that we didn't really have a proper solution with our bin. So what we've done now is actually we've installed 3 separate bins in our van. So basically we've got a bin for our fruit and vegetables. Then we have actually 2 separate bins, one for the plastic, and then the rest of our trash is going separately also. The reason why we're doing this is to be much more aware of what we're buying and to reduce our environmental impact.
Gizmo. Gizmo. There you go, buddy. So this brings us to some other mistakes that we made, and that has something to do with Gizmo. So the first problem that we realized was when he was peeing on our bed, which was really amazing because Gizmo normally never pees anywhere besides his litter box. And then we found out that actually his litter box was pitch black, and we've sometimes noticed that Gizmo doesn't really see very well in the dark. So what did we do? We installed a little sensor light inside of his litter box, so that seemed to work. Whenever he poos, we smell it immediately and it just goes straight into our composting toilet. It's so hot. Luckily, we have our Max fan. which is amazing, and it helped us so many times. But we realized soon enough we needed something else. So we bought this one, the Sirocco. It's an extra fan. Let me show you how it works. Ta-da! It's amazing. We bought it when we came back from our 2-week trip. You can turn it around so you can give some extra airflow in the van, and especially when the window is open and when max fan is on, it gives like a beautiful breeze. But then we realized it was really hot when we came back, and we weren't really that comfortable with leaving Gizmo alone in the van. So we made an extra investment and we bought this beautiful...
What-a! Well, we've got this airco. Let me tell you, it wasn't an easy job to finding the right air conditioning, sorry guys. Let me tell you, this brand is called Coolzy. Not sponsored whatsoever, but this thing only takes 300 watts on 222 volts. If you converge that into 12 volts, it takes about like 20 to 30 amps, which basically is the same energy consumption of a 12 volt air conditioner. Also, the refillant of this material that's in here is eco-friendly, so we're very satisfied with that. The main reason why we bought this is for Gizmo. Actually, for days where we are going away for a couple of hours, this is more than sufficiently enough for Gizmo and the space that it's going for. So let's talk about work-life balance.
Yeah, and communication inside a van as a couple. I put just a little bit of ginger in there. And I'm really curious if Stef's gonna notice, because he usually hates ginger in his smoothies.
Here's to Bo's beautiful smoothies she makes always for me. Gotta give her some credit because her smoothies are really great.
Try it. Whoa. Realize that you're gonna do everything together, which is just going to the toilet, cleaning yourself, everything. You're gonna smell each other's poo, each other's farts. You're gonna see each other poo. You're gonna see all of that. So you need to be really strong, and you need to be okay with all of that. We're all human. We're all the same. So you need to be aware that privacy doesn't really exist inside of a van living together.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
Yeah.
Like really minimal. Nevertheless.
How amazing is that? This is our water. We have a big water tank. Our water tank is 112 liter big, and we can do a long time with our water tank. And when we were traveling, finding water was no big deal. We use the app Park4Night, which is really amazing to find like water taps to fill up our water tank. But when we were back in Belgium, it was a bit harder to find water. And yeah, even the one place in our area that Park4Night said there was water, it wasn't really the kind of connection that we could use. So that was something that we didn't really think through very well. So now we realize we need to be prepared much better. Our workspace. So for now we only have one workspace and one laptop, which makes it pretty hard sometimes when the two of us are in the van and want to be productive and do some work on our laptops, because this is the only table and the only laptop that we have, which we're very grateful for, because this is an amazing setup. It's very comfortable, but that means that the other person has to do something else in the meantime. Of course, we knew this from the beginning, so we planned to have a lagoon table over there and also a really comfortable cushion over there, so that's also a big seating area slash workspace, which of course an extra laptop in the future.
Let's talk about traveling. Probably in the first week or so, if you're like ready with your van, slow down. We made that mistake way too fast.
We went to the Netherlands, we drove to Germany, the Black Forest, only a few days, and oh, let's drive to Switzerland, Italy, like everything in the span of 2 weeks, because we hadn't traveled in like 4 years, so we really needed to see something else to go abroad. But if you have the time and if you have the resources, just take it a little easier, take it a little more slow. The last thing you wanted to talk about is community. Don't give up if you feel lonely or if people in your social network don't understand what you're doing. Living on the road, living in a van is something out of the ordinary. It's completely different from buying a house, having kids, and a lot of people in your environment might not understand you or support your decisions as much as you'd like to. It can be a pretty lonely journey to build a van, to live in a van, to build out your concept, your idea. So it's really important that you look for that community, know that you're not alone, know what you're doing it for, and keep standing behind your decision, keep standing behind your goals, your dreams, and don't let people get you down on it. Don't give up. Say hi to other vanlifers that you meet on the road. Go on Instagram, go on YouTube, go on TikTok.
Alright, so if you reached the end of this video, that's really great of you guys, because we've been trying to bring so much value into this content so you can be much more interested and get some value for yourself into the decision-making progress if you want to go into van life.
Really hope you got something useful out of this video. There were a ton of mistakes that we made, and there's probably going to be a ton of mistakes that we will make and that you will make. We're all human. This is a whole new journey. It's a different lifestyle than what most people do.
So give a like on this channel, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and you'll see some struggles of ours in the future.
A lot.
Bye guys. Yeah, so we're very challenging. We're very we're very tired. That's basically
let's
it.
wrap it up.